In every university, there is always that one babe everyone knows, not because she's class rep, not because she is in SUG, but because her beauty has a louder GPA than her brains. On our campus, that babe was Olanna. Let me explain. Olanna, she was tall, slim, with skin smooth like she had private agreement with Vaseline. Her face sweet enough to make even the prayer warrior say, God, just one like this for me. But the real gist, her beauty ended at her lips because once she opened her mouth, you would beg her to close it again. Olanna's mouth was sharper than fresh razor blade. Her tongue didn't just cut people, it scattered destinies. Before we enter Hawala, meet some of the people who unfortunately shared space with Olanna. Hamarachi, her bestie and hype woman. This one was like Olanna's microphone. Anything Olanna said, Amarachi would echo. If Olanna insulted you, Amarachi would laugh the loudest and add, "Finish am, babe." Pa Okore, the gatesman, old soldier turned security man, always greeting students with "Good evening, fine boys and fine girls." Whether you were fine or looked like expired oppa, he would still greet. His uniform, it gets history. It was so faded, nobody knew the original color again. Mama Oju, the market woman, she sold fruit by the school gate, forever plucking vegetables. She never cooked. If you passed her table, she would size you from head to toe before selling you pear. Dr. Kevin, the strict lecturer, always working with a big textbook under his armpit, known for saying, "Read your books, not your boyfriend." His English was tighter than his trousers. And of course, Olanna's rivalry. Chisom, another fine babe on campus. But unlike Olanna, Chisom's beauty came with humility. Naturally, Olanna hated her. At a birthday party one Friday night, Olanna entered the lounge like red carpet personified, red bodycon dress. Heels so high, angels were afraid for her ankles. All the boys turned their heads, phones out. One whispered, "Ah, God, see my future problem." Then Chisom entered, new wig, glittered gown, calm aura. And Olanna, she couldn't allow peace to reign. She sipped her drink, looked at Chisom and announced, "Abeg, who invited mannequin from Aba Market? That wig looks like rat hostel." The table scattered with laughter. Chisom forced a smile, but her eyes were wet. Olanna, satisfied, crossed her legs like she just solved Nigerian's electricity problem. Later that night, she staggered back to the hostel with Amarachi, Pa Okore ever cheerful saluted. "Good evening, Auntie Fine. Welcome back, no wahala." Olanna stopped and looked at him, up and down. "Papa, must you be smelling of sweat every night? This your uniform. Na rag you dey wear abi, na costume party?" The poor man froze. A couple of students standing nearby chuckled nervously. But Okore's face tightened. He muttered, "Young girl, beauty without respect is like garri without water. One day your mouth will disgrace you." Olanna hissed, adjusted her bag and brushed past him. "Abeg shift, ordinary gates man." The next morning, Olanna stopped by Mama Uju's fruit store. She wrinkled her nose at the garden egg displayed. "Mama, are you selling fruit or burial sacrifice? This thing don't expire since last semester." The student nearby gasped. Mama Uju's hands paused mid-pluck. She eyed Olanna slowly and simply said, "Young woman, watch your tongue." Olanna burst out laughing. "See this woman forming Lollywood witch. Madam, abeg, give me pear before you faint here." She left with her bag, swinging, hips bouncing, face shining with makeup. But behind her, the air in the fruit stall felt heavier. That night, as she wiped her lip gloss in the mirror, Olanna smiled at her reflection. "With this face and body, abeg, who can touch me? I'm unstoppable." Outside her window, a snail crawled across the wet ground, slow, silent, patient. And somewhere in the compound, Pa Okore coughed. Mama Ojo plucked another vegetable, and Chisom cried quietly into her pillow. Olanna laughed at herself one last time before bed, but the laughter didn't know what was coming. Sunday afternoon, hostel compound was bubbling. Girls were frying indomie with everything inside. Boys played loud whiskey music, and Olana sat cross-legged in the room, scrolling Instagram like she owned app. Amarachi barged in, holding shawarma. Babe, see what one of my toasters bought for me. Olana took one look at it and hissed. Now this wrapper of bread you're calling shawarma. Babe, just throw it away before Rat reports you to NAFDAC. The room erupted in laughter from two other girls present. Amarachi laughed too, because this was the only way to survive Olana's friendship. But then something strange happened. Olana opened her mouth to add another insult, and instead of words, a string of thick, clear slime stretched out of her lips. Everyone screamed. Amarachi jumped back. Jesus, babe, are you okay? Olana wiped her mouth quickly with tissue, laughing nervously. I beg, maybe it's the Fanta I drank. Gas is disturbing me. The girls exchanged worried glances, but Olana's confidence was titanium. She resumed her Instagram scrolling like nothing happened. That evening, Olana and Amarachi went to the campus canteen. Hot rice and stew, chicken, cold coke. Life was good. As they ate, Olana saw a classmate Nkechi walking past in a pink wig. She leaned forward to whisper to Amarachi, "See her, looking like cartoon Barbie. Who dashed her that wig? Abeg, she looks like mosquito." Before she could finish, she coughed. Then, plop, a tiny snail landed on her plate. Amarachi dropped her spoon. Blood of God. This canteen woman shouted, "Customer, I swear, no be for my pot oh. I no cook snail today." The whole canteen turned to look. Students pointing. Some already had their phones camera out. Olana, red-faced, quickly covered the plate. Everyone calm down. Maybe it fell from the ceiling. Someone shouted, "Now Lisa, they dropped snail from roof." The laughter was uncontrollable. Amarachi grabbed her arm and dragged her out before the video made it to TikTok. One Monday morning, Olana had to present a group assignment in front of the class. She wore a blazer that looked imported from Paris, even though it was really borrowed from Amarachi. She stood boldly in front of everyone, flipping her Brazilian hair. Our topic is environmental sustainability. But midway through her sentence, her voice goggled, and then slime oozed out and dripped onto her notes. The class erupted. Ewo, slime queen. Abeg, who carry frog enter lecture hall? Even the lecturer, Dr. Kelvin, dropped his chalk. "Miss Olana, what? What nonsense is this?" Olama stammered, wiping her lips with tissue. "Sir, maybe it's cough. I just need water." But as she bent to pick her water bottle, another snail crawled out into the depths. The class went wild. Someone screamed, "Jesus, she's incubating snails." Phones came out again. Amarachi was shouting, "Stop recording, stop recording." But who can stop campus students from recording gist of the century? Back in her room, Olana paced. "This is nonsense. Maybe I ate something bad. Maybe snail poison." Amarachi shook her head. "But babe, it's not normal. First slime, then snail. Are you sure you didn't offend anybody?" Olana rolled her eyes. "Please, who can offend me? Who burned them?" But as she was talking, another bubble of slime slid out. She froze. Amarachi screamed, and for the first time in her fine girl career, Olana didn't feel untouchable. By Friday night, Olana had convinced herself that the slime and snail incidents were just random. Food poisoning, stress, bad lightning, anything. "I beg," she told Amarachi as she dressed up for another club night. "Nothing they happen. Na small sickness. I am fine. Let me shine. I cannot waste this face on fear." She wore a silver gown, so short it could pass for belt. Amarachi zipped it up carefully, whispering, "Babe, what if, the slime comes again?" Olana waved her hand. "I beg, tonight I'm untouchable. Who will even notice slime when I'm glowing like moonlight?" The moment they entered Galaxy Lounge, heads turned, boys dropped bottles, girls hissed. The DJ even changed track to hype them. One guy shouted, "Slay Queens don't land." Another whispered, "See Olana's skin like butter, but mouth like bitter leaf." She ignored. She strutted to their table like runway was under her feet. Drinks flowed, cameras flashed. Amarachi was busy snapping Olana from every angle. Then Chisom, the calm rival, walked in. new dress, fresh wig, her aura, peaceful but stunning. Olana's eyes twitched. She couldn't resist. She leaned from across the table, loud enough for nearby guys to hear. See Chisom, looking like a car that fell inside sand. Who told her she can wear sequin? That dress is reflecting light like traffic warden jacket. The table burst into laughter. Olana smirked, enjoying the spotlight. But then her throat made a gurgling sound. She tried to swallow. Instead, a fat string of slime shot out and landed on her cocktail dress with a splat. The boys screamed. One shouted, Chineke, babe, are you melting? Olana panicked, grabbed tissue, wiped quickly. Calm down, it's nothing, just saliva. But before she could finish, plop, a snail slid out of her mouth and dropped onto the table. The snail blinked. The snail moved. The snail dragged slime across the champagne bottle. The table scattered. People jumped up screaming. Phones came out instantly. Someone shouted, "Na lie yo! Snail they come out from Slay Queen mouth." In seconds, the DJ stopped music. Everyone was pointing, laughing, recording. Olana tried to talk, but another gurgle came. This time, 2 snails fell. One on the dance floor, one on Amarachi's handbag. Amarachi screamed and flung the bag. The snail crawled out majestically, like it paid gate fee. The crowd chanted, "Snail Queen, Snail Queen, Snail Queen." Even Chisom covered her mouth in shock, but her eyes were dancing with secret joy. Olana shaking, grabbed Amarachi's hand and ran, but as they reached the exit, Pa Okore the gateman was there, moonlight as bouncers. He saw her face, dripping slime, and muttered under his dress, "I took him. Beauty without respect is like Gary without water." Olana hissed weakly, "Old man, get out of my way." But instead of insult, slime sprayed onto his shoe. The whole club roared with laughter. Pa Okore simply shook his head and let her pass. By the time Olana reached her hostel, the video was already viral. Hashtag Snail Creek Challenge. Hashtag Snail Slay Challenge. Hashtag Snail Queen. Hashtag Fine Girl Turn Aquarium. Meme page went wild. One edit even showed her face on a snail shell crawling across campus. Olana locked herself in a room, shaking with rage and humiliation. This rubbish, Amarachi. I swear if that video spreads, I'll sue somebody. But Amarachi's face was pale. "Babe, it has already spread. My cousin in Lagos just sent me your video with soundtrack." Olana froze. The sound of students outside chanting "Snail Queen" filtered through the window. For the first time, her beauty didn't protect her. Her mouth had made her famous, but not the way she wanted. By Monday morning, Olana was trending harder than Wizkid's new single. From WhatsApp group to TikTok, everywhere you turn it was Snail Queen 001. Na snail wey slay queen spit go chop pepper soup today. If you kiss Olana, you fit collect free snail. She switched off her phone, but humiliation was glued to her shadow. Amarachi tried to comfort her. "Babe, maybe you should see a doctor." Olana, swallowing her tears, agreed. "Fine, doctor, then pastor, then anybody that can stop this nonsense. I cannot be vomiting escargot for the rest of my life." They sneaked into the campus clinic. Dr. Benson, the young doctor with fake American accent, welcomed her. "Miss Olana, sit down. What seems to be the problem?" Olana folded her arms. "Doctor, something strange is happening to me." "Strange like how?" She opened her mouth to explain. Gurgle. A long string of slime dropped onto his decks with a splat. Dr. Benson jumped up. Jesus! Before he could recover, plop! A snail crawled across his prescription pad. The doctor screamed louder than the patient outside. "My God! This is zoology, not medicine." He ran to the door shouting, "Nurse! Call the veterinarian! Call marine biology!" Olana wiped her lips in shame. Rubbish. Ordinary doctor. Next up, Deliverance Night at Fire for Fire Ministry. Pastor Mike was already sweating and bouncing around the microphone. As soon as Olana knelt, he shouted, "Loose her, O Lord!" The congregation screamed, "Amen!" He pressed her forehead. "Come out, foul spirit of snail!" And right there, plop! A fat snail landed on the offering basket. The ushers scattered. One woman fainted. A man shouted, "Pastor, it's laying eggs in the sanctuary." Pastor Mike froze, then whispered into the mic, "Church, This one pass me. We need senior prophet. Olana staggered up, wiping slime. Pastor, you are fake. Next. Finally, Amarachi dragged her to a small shrine at the edge of town. The herbalist, an old man with white chalk on his face, studied Olana carefully. My daughter, you are fine, but your inside is rotten. You use your mouth like cutlass, and cutlass will always cut back. Olana rolled her eyes. Please, talk something reasonable. Can you cure it or not? The man smiled and brought out a calabash. Drink this. She sniffed the concoction and nearly choked. What is this? Gutter water. Obey or remain a snail factory. With disgust, Olana gulped it. For a while, she felt lighter. She even smiled. Amarachi, see, nothing happened. Maybe I'm cured. But as she stood up to thank him, her lips trembled. Gurgle. Ploop, ploop. 3 giant snails fell onto the shrine floor. The herbalist calmly picked them up and placed them in a pot. Good. I was out of stock for pepper soup. Olana screamed and ran out. By evening, Olana collapsed on her hostel bed. Her wig was scattered. Makeup ruined by tears. Amarachi sat beside her whispering, Babe, what if this is not sickness? What if it's punishment? Olana covered her ears. Stop. Don't say that. Who can punish me? Me, Olana the untouchable. But her voice cracked, and with it came another bubble, a slime that dripped onto her pillow. For the first time, she didn't even bother to wipe it. By the next weekend, Olana told herself she was done with panic. No more doctors, no more fake pastors, no more village native men cooking snails in my face. I would just act normal and everything will fade. Amarachi squinted at her. Babe, normal? With slime in your throat? Olana hissed. I beg, nothing is wrong with me. Watch. She stood in front of the mirror, powdered her lip gloss, and practiced. My name is Olana. I am fine. I am beautiful. Silence. No slime. No snail. She smiled proudly. See? Problem solved. But Amarachi wasn't convinced. Just pray it won't disgrace you again. That evening, one of her rich toasters, Kelvin, final year big boy with car and beard, invited her for dinner. Olana wore a green silk dress, so shiny it nearly reflected the street light. The restaurant was classy. AC, cold music soft, waiters moving like ghosts. Kelvin leaned forward, smiling. Olana, I've been wanting this moment. You're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Olana smirked, sipping juice. Of course I know. She leaned forward too, ready to sweeten the moment, but instead of words, gurgle. A fat blob of smile slid into her wine glass. Gavin blinked. Did you just? Before he could finish, plop! A snail dropped onto his plate of fried rice. The snail wiggled, spreading slime on the chicken. Kelvin screamed and jumped up so fast his chair fell. Jesus, Madam Snail, what is this? The whole restaurant stared. Phones came out. Olana tried to grab him, stammering, Baby, wait, it's not what you think. But her throat betrayed her again. Bloop, bloop. 2 more snails bounced across the shiny tiled floors, crawling in different directions, like they were looking for exit. The restaurant erupted. One man shouted, I beg, carry your escargot, go France. Another woman screamed, na live snail pepper soup buffet. Kelvin covered his nose, stormed out, and drove away without paying the bill. Olana stood frozen, dress shiny, face hot with shame as waiters poked at the snails with broomstick. As if that wasn't enough, the following week she was chosen, ironically, to be MC at a campus fashion show. It was supposed to be her comeback, her redemption, her chance to show the world Snail Queen was just a gossip. She strutted on the stage, mic in hand, smiling like Beyonce. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Glow and Glam Fashion Night. Cheers, claps, flashes of camera. She felt powerful again. But in the middle of hyping the next model, her throat gurgled. No, not now. Please, she whispered. Too late. Slime shot out mid-sentence, spraying across the mic. The crowd gasped. Then, bloop, bloop, bloop. 3 snails fell onto the runway, crawling between the model's heels. The audience screamed. Abegu, Fashion show or reptile show? Someone shouted, "Next model, Madame Escargot." Phones recording from every angle. The DJ even switched track to Slowly by Mehdi. Models scattered. One nearly fell trying to dodge a snail. The fashion show collapsed into chaos. And Olana, she stood on stage, tears mixing with her makeup, mic covered in slime. By midnight, the clips were everywhere. One edit showed her face with snail emojis crawling across it. Brands she once modeled for quietly unfollowed her. Her so-called friends distanced themselves. Even her sugar daddy stopped picking her calls. Amarachi tried to console her, but even she looked scared to sit too close. Olana called on her bed muttered, "Why me? Who did I offend?" But the only answer came from her throat, a quiet gurgle. After the fashion show disaster, Olana vanished. No parties, no Instagram posts, no outing. For 2 weeks, she stayed indoor, hiding like Nepa Bill. People gossiped that she had traveled abroad for treatment. Others swore she had joined a snail cult. But the truth, Olana was tired. One afternoon, Amarachi barged into the room shouting, "Babe, this thing is not ordinary. You have to change. Maybe it's your character." Olana lay on her bed, eyes swollen from crying. Change how? Start small. Stop insulting people. Stop gossip. Stop dragging everybody. Just be nice for once in your life. Olana groaned. "So, I should become Mother Teresa overnight?" "Yes," Amarachi snapped. "What do you have to lose? It's either that or you keep vomiting snail. Until you open snail pepper soup joint." Silence. Then Olana signed. "Fine, I will try. From now, no more bad mouth. Call me good girl Olana." The next day, she dressed simply and walked around campus. Instead of rolling her eyes at people's outfit, she forced a smile. When she saw a girl in a torn wig, she said, "Wow, sis, I love your courage. It takes confidence to rock that look." The girl blinked confused. Thank you." At the canteen, she told the server, "Sis, this rice is so lovely. May God bless your pot." The woman stared suspiciously, but smiled. Even Pa Okorie, the gate man, looked shocked when she greeted. "Good evening, sir. You're doing a great job." He narrowed his eyes like he was looking for sarcasm, but she just walked away. And guess what? For a whole day, no slime, no snail. Encouraged, Olana doubled her effort. She helped a girl carry her books. She posted on Instagram, "Kindness is beauty." She even hugged Chisom in public, whispering, "No hard feelings, babe." Chisom nearly fainted. Amarachi couldn't believe her eyes. "Babe, maybe you're healed, you see? Being nice works." For the first time in months, Olana smiled with genuine relief. Maybe, just maybe, her nightmares were finally over. But good behavior is like high heels. Not everyone can maintain it for long. One hot afternoon, Olana was buying suya. She had been smiling politely, waiting her turn, when one girl jumped the queue. Olana's eyes twitched. She bit her lips. Be nice, be nice." But when the girl collected her suya before her, Olana exploded. "Are you mad? Do you think your father owns this suya stand with your frog eyes and plastic slippers?" The crowd gasped. Olana froze. Her throat gurgled, and before she could stop it, slime poured out in a fountain, splattering across the suya table. Everyone screamed. The suya man dropped his knife. Two fat snails crawled across the pepper and onions like invited guests. One customer shouted, "Abomination! Snails buying suya for themselves." Phones came out again. Hashtag suya snail trended by nightfall. Back in the hostel, Olana wept. "I tried, I swear. I tried. But it's like my mouth cannot stop itself. The more I try, the worse it gets." Amarachi sat quietly, staring at the slime stain on her French dress. "Babe, this is not about trying to act good. Maybe it's about actually being good." Olana buried her face in her pillow, but all she heard was a faint sound of gurgle. Blip. One quiet evening, Olana walked home from class. No makeup, no flashy heels, just her natural self. For the first time in years, she looked humble. She carried a nylon of bread and beans she had bought by the roadside. As she passed the small fruit stall near the school gate, she saw the old woman she once mocked. The woman was struggling to lift a basket of pears. Olana paused for a second. Her pride whispered, "Keep walking, it's not your business." But something inside her had changed. She dropped her nylon and rushed to help. "Mama, let me help you." The woman looked at her surprised. Together they lifted the basket and set it down. The old woman smiled faintly. "My daughter, how are you? Are you still vomiting snails?" Olana froze. Her heart raced. "Ma, how do you know about that?" she whispered. The woman's eyes twinkled. "I don't need TikTok to know. I was the one who placed it on you." Olana staggered back. "What? You?" The woman nodded calmly. "The day you insulted me at this small store, I said in my heart, for every insult she spits, may she spit slime and snail until her tongues learn humility." And so it was. Olana's mouth opened, but no insult came out. Only shock. The woman studied her carefully. "But I have been watching you. I see you now greet people. I see you're trying to help instead of mock. Your ways have changed." She placed a hand on Olana's shoulder. "My daughter, I am happy to see you have learned. From today, I release you. No more slime, no more snails. Use your beauty well and let your tongue bring peace, not poison." Olana's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Mama. Thank you." The woman simply smiled, picked her pears, and went back to arranging them. That night, Olana told Amarachi and her friends everything, the gap. "So, it was that woman all along." Olana nodded. "Yes, but she has released me. I am free now." Amarachi folded her arms, skeptical. "Are you sure? What if you insult someone and snail still comes out?" Olana smirked. "Should we test it?" Her friends leaned forward eagerly. Olana pointed at Amarachi's wig and said playfully, "This your wig still looks like abandoned rat hostel." The room went silent. Everyone held their breath, but nothing happened. No slime, no snail. Olana laughed in relief. Her friends screamed with joy and hugged her tightly. She raised her hand and declared, "From today, I swear, I will never use my mouth to destroy again. I have learned my lesson." The end. Some of the lessons to be learned from this story are: beauty without character is emptiness. Words are powerful. Pride brings disgrace. Humility brings peace. Never underestimate anyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this wonderful masterpiece. Please go ahead and click on the subscribe button if you're new on this channel. Turn on post notifications so you'll be notified anytime I drop a new story. Like this story and leave me a comment what you loved about this story. And I'll see you in the next one, my loves. Till then again, bye. Mwah.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please click on the subscribe button to support us. Turn on the post notification to get notified when I upload a new story. Like, share, and comment your thoughts. Till then, bye.